Guys, Safari again. I hope I'm not boring you. This is not for entertainment, it's actually meant to be educational. Yesterday I went on and on about how I modified my QB79. However, maybe you between the age of 10 and 70 years old and you want to buy a standard QB79 CO2 rifle off the shelf and go and punch some paper with it, shoot a few flies, or maybe shoot the washing pegs off your mother or wife's washing line without spending a lot of money or taking it to someone that can fiddle with it. The way to do it is this. The QB79 has got one problem. The problem is such that actually a lot of companies took it off the shelves in our country. The gun gets sold without a CO2 bottle. And then you buy the CO2 bottle. Now the CO2 bottle or the gun was designed for the CO2 bottle to have a diameter of 50.8 or 2 inches. That would leave you the desired 1.5 millimeters of clearance between the barrel and the actual bottle. However, somewhere in production things went the other way. The bottles are now around 53 millimeters in diameter, which means that many of them, most of them, now actually touch the QB's barrel, deflecting it into a direction that you don't want it to. Now, even if you have a paper-thin little space between your bottle and the barrel, very often you tend to touch the bottle or sort of rest it onto the bottle, which will cause a slight deflection, touch your barrel, and you won't shoot where you want to. Okay, so how did I solve that problem? I went to the shop knowing fully about this situation. So first of all, I looked at the gun and I asked them if they know about this. They said, yeah, they've heard of it. So I asked them to bring me a box of 9-ounce CO2 canisters. I was armed with a vernier. You don't have to be. I measured it, and yes, it was around 53, but less, but more, whatever. So I went through that box, and I found that the actual threaded part that screws into the gun is not concentric with the outside of the bottle. So what would happen as you screw it on, the bottle would touch, and the next half turn it would be away, and then it would touch again. So that was something positive already. Then I asked them if they only have this one brand of 9-ounce CO2 bottle. And luckily they said, no, they have another type, another make in the back. I said, well, bring that out. That batch measured more like, call it 52 millimeters, which is already we're gaining 1 millimeter, which is only half a millimeter aside. However, the bottle's thread was even more out of center than the previous batch. Now in this crate there was about 24 bottles, and I didn't have to go through more than half the crate to find my bottle than when it's touching. We would have this scenario. In other words, it would be tight with thread in the up offset position, bottle hanging slightly to the bottom, and the necessary gap between the barrel and the bottle. I managed to get 2 bottles out of, as I said, a half a box that I went through. So that's what you do. You go pick up your rifle. You tell them to bring all the CO2 bottles they got, and you physically screw them onto your rifle. This is not the problem. This is high pressure air. That's a smaller bottle. And you screw it on, and when it's in the tightened position, you make sure that you've got that gap. And trust me, then this little thing will shoot exactly where you want to. It will save you the money from the things they supply on the internet that actually comes out like an elbow and drops your bottle. So just by selection and being a bit fussy, there you go.